Indian Hills. This is Mrs. Sandersfeld-Miller, your teacher librarian here with some new books I'm getting ready to put out on the shelves. This video is going to be about nonfiction books. So this year I had the 300 section, which is like social issues, and I had the 500 section, which is science topics, that I weeded out a bunch of old, outdated books, and I got some new, up-to-date books. So for the 300 sections, we have some books about human rights. We have some books about bullying. This one's a really cool one. It's really nice and short, but it's a true story based on a real person. So they interview a real person who has been bullied. Learning to lead. I know we have a lot of leadership groups around school. So this is a good one that has some kind of like leadership topics and explanations and how to be a leader. What does hate look like? So different types of hate speech and people who are intolerant of others, what that looks like. And then we've got some more your First Amendment and freedom of religion, so more human rights. We have some more social issues books. So these ones in the back are about divorce and families splitting up. And then there's one about abusive relationships and domestic violence. And then we have some more of these true life stories that happened to me being homeless, having an alcohol addiction, and having a drug addiction. And then the Pregnancy Project is a story about a girl who was in high school who thought that if she got pregnant, people would treat her differently. So she faked being pregnant to see, and kind of an experiment, to see how people in her school and in her family would treat her if she had gotten pregnant as a teen. Next up, we have some criminology type books. I always have kids ask me about books about serial killers and like forensics, the mind of a criminal, researching things, kind of processing crime scenes and how people solve mysteries and solve crimes. So lots of different books about that. These ones are nice little short ones too. So they're not too big, but they have lots of good pictures and good information. And rounding out the 300s books, we have another It Happened to Me, Being in a Gang, and an Introduction to Mythology for Kids. This one is just a really good one. It has some pictures, and then it just has a couple of pages about each god and goddess and different Greek mythology figures. Moving on to the books that are in the 500 section, we have some science books. So How Science Works. I really like these books because they have so many little infographics. So it's just packed with tons of information, lots of illustrations and infographics to make things really interesting and fun. We have The Greatest Stuff on Earth, so some different, the science of different things. Home Activity Lab, if you want some experiments that you can do at home. We have the Amoeba Sisters Cartoon Guide to Biology. They are YouTube stars, so they put together from their YouTube videos a book about different biology things. We have a book about the periodic table. I used to have a whole book for each element, but I thought they were a little bit outdated, so I got this instead. So it's a little pocket guide with all of them. And then a book about algebra and geometry, just some fun things in there to help you with your classes. We have some new books about space. So, you know, there's Pluto. Is it a planet? Is it not a planet? All of those things have been changing recently. So I got some new up-to-date books about astronomy. Next up, we have some ocean and atmosphere books. So a visual encyclopedia of the ocean, tons of really cool pictures. A Weird But True Weather and Natural Disasters from National Geographic Kids. So that one's got a bunch of cool illustrations and stories as well. Things to know about climate change, a really nice short one. I know climate change is something you talk about in 8th grade science, so that would be a good one for that. And Crystal and Gemstone Encyclopedia. I love these encyclopedia books because they have really cool illustrations and just short little text to go along with it. So a lot of these nonfiction books are great to read in study hall when you don't have anything to do. The next topic in the 500s is dinosaurs. So we have a fossil encyclopedia. We have this big dinosaur book. There's a couple of ours that were kind of falling apart, so got rid of those. The Doomsday Detectives, how Walter and Luis Alvarez solved the mystery of dinosaur extinction. So this one is a nonfiction, kind of part graphic novel, part chapter book that talks about how they figured out what happened to the dinosaurs. And then this one's a really nice short one, very short, very easy reading level about dinosaur fossils. We have some more of these fun encyclopedia books about different types of animals. So we have the Arctic Animal Encyclopedia, we have Australian animals, We have African animals, and we have Asian animal encyclopedia. And then we also have the weirdest animals on the planet. This one is kind of fun with different pictures of all these weird animals. I know everybody kind of likes axolotls right now. So all different kinds of animals in these books. Another great set of books for study hall to have something to do. And last, we have a couple of biographies. The first one is called Journey, My Story of Migration. And the author is the one who is the person who came from Mexico and moved to California. So he's writing about his real true life story. And then Songs of a War Boy is about a person who was a refugee from Sudan. So his actual story of how he made it out of the war-torn country of Sudan. So if any of these books look good to you, go ahead and put them on hold and I can deliver them to your English teacher, or come on down to the library to check them out.